the meeting, even though we started a little late, and I'll explain why we record the session through the as we go through the session this afternoon. Okay. All right, so welcome Luando and Pumza to the session today. My name is Lynn Isaacs, and what I'm going to do is just so that you can see who I am just for a few minutes, just so to get the your orientation, so that you can orient yourselves and see that I am a real person. I'm going to, you can leave your cameras off for now. So I'm switching my camera on so that you can see who I am. Hello. My name is Lynn Isaacs. Warm welcome to both of you, and thank you for taking the time to join this academic literacies session run by the Academic Literacies Center, based, well, virtually and online now, but usually we run sessions at the Para Regional Center. Apologies for my having to think about my words. I haven't done this since last semester, and so I'm only now getting back into it. So it's going to take me a few minutes just to get used to, talking to my screen again. And so welcome to both of you. Thank you so much for typing your student numbers into, do you mind just typing your student numbers into the chat here? Pumza, I didn't see it. And so I'm going to put my camera off, and I'm going to start sharing my screen with you so that you can view the presentation that I prepared for today. Okay. So welcome to both of you to the Practicing Workplace English session hosted by the Academic Literacies Center. This is our virtual workshop, our first one for the semester. Just some housekeeping. It's important that you log in via the Teams app, and I'm going to talk to you both about that in a minute. So it's really useful always to log in, and you'll see once you download the app, you'll find the benefits of logging in. It's far easier than coming in via a link. Your microphone, please, to be muted at all times, unless when you want to ask a question. If you have a question to ask, you can raise your hand, and I'm just going to share my desktop with you so that you can see where apologies. So that you can see where to find this little icon. Can you see my screen, Pumza and Luando?
Yes, ma'am, I see it.
Okay, all right. So somewhere, I'm not sure if you've joined this session using a smartphone or a laptop or a tablet. Or
I'm using a smartphone.
Okay, so on your little bar there somewhere, you will find a hand icon, which if you hover it will say raise your hand. So if you're wanting to ask a question, if you click on it, then a little hand will appear in the box where your name is. Then I'll know that you want to ask a question. Okay, so make use make use of the raising your hand if you have a question or if something is not clear. Please feel free, both Pumza and Luando. It's just the two of you here today, so you have my undivided attention for the next 2 hours, unless we have more students joining us as the afternoon goes by. But I encourage you to, you're welcome to interrupt me and say, Lynn, can you please explain that again? Or can you tell me more about this? Can you show us that again? I didn't quite get it. So please feel, I want you to feel as comfortable as possible to interrupt me as we go along. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am, but on my phone, I don't have that hand. I
Okay,
don't
well
have
then,
it.
all right, that's okay, Pumza. Then just unmute your microphone because I can see when your microphone is unmuted on my side, on my screen. Okay. All right, so let's go back to the presentation. So this is just to familiarize you and to show you how these virtual sessions work. All our sessions are recorded, and we do this because not everyone is able to attend the live sessions. So it's also a nice way for you, and so people who are maybe at work or for whatever reason not able to attend the live session, they can then go and watch the recorded session. So if you can't make it at a particular time or day, then know that the session is recorded and you can access it then at a time that's convenient for you. I'll show you later on where to find these recorded sessions. Make sure that your camera is off at all times. It just helps with, it uses a lot less data when your camera is off as opposed to having your camera on. And then use the chat function to post your student number and also to ask a question when the connection is sometimes too poor. Sometimes I will even ask you to type answers or responses in the chat section. So just want to show you again in the chat section you will find a link to an attendance register. Can you see that, Pumza and Luando? If you scroll up in the link, can you see it?
No,
Yes, I see it.
Okay,
Yes,
so
I saw it.
yeah, so what you do there is you just click on the link and you type your student number there, and then you can close it again and you can come back. It won't take you out of, the way I understand it, it won't take you out of the session that we're in at the moment. Right. I just need to make sure that I'm sharing the right screen with you. Okay. Are you seeing the presentation on your side or not? No, I don't think I shared the presentation. There we go. Okay, there we go. Okay. So if you're experiencing...
Okay, I did.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Okay, ma'am, I did submit my student number in
That's
that link.
excellent. Yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you. All right. So for future sessions, you need to do the same thing. And it's just to see how many students attend a session. And depending on numbers of students attending, I might change the time to make it a little later or a little or whatever, or even change the day, just depending on what best suits students. So this email address that you're seeing on your screen at the moment, ctntut@unisa.ac.za, it's a central email address for the Cape Town Regional Centre, Learning Centre, based in Parow. And so if you're having any technical problems with, I can't get into the team session, I'm not able to see the recording, please explain to me, how do I get there? Or if you're having problems with email, send an email to ctntat@unisa.ac.za, and the technical staff there and the admin staff there who read the mail coming into that mailbox, they will help you. So just an overview for today's session. We've done the welcome. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more and later on about the Academic Literacy Center and what we do. I'm going to show you how to use Teams very briefly, and then I'll talk to you about online learning, looking at my UNISA Teams, etc. And we'll do a Q&A and a wrap up later on. And if needs be, we'll have a break. But because there are only 2 of you in the session, there's 3 of us here today, we may finish a little bit earlier, even though my time's on the, I didn't change my times. We should end at 6, but we may end a little bit earlier. So we'll see how it goes. So welcome to everybody. And I wish you all of the very best for the semester. And I trust that you're going to do your very best and that you are managing to, you're applying yourself in a disciplined way to your studies. So let's just start off then by I'd like you to think about what your experience has been with regards to how distance learning is different from contact learning. And then we can just talk about it for a minute or so. Think about it, and then Lonwabo and Pumza, if you can then just share your views on what you're thinking. So what do you think? How is contact learning different to distance learning? By contact learning, I mean what you were used to. For example, if you were at school last year or a couple of years ago, not all UNISA students come to university straight from high school, or if you are working and now suddenly you're back. How's it different? How's being a distance learning student different from contact learning?
Hi, ma'am. On my side, it's on my side, it's difficult, especially in English, but in other modules, I don't have a problem. But my weak point is in English, so it's very difficult for me because I think it was January, if I'm not mistaken. So there was this welcoming in UNISA. So this is it Joko? I'm not sure, but it's the name now.
Jacques. Yes. Jacques.
I even went to him. I told him, no, in this EN thing, I have a problem with English. He said, no, don't worry, going to pass. But now, English is very stressing me, real. That is my good point. Other modules, I don't have a problem.
All right. Okay, Pumza. Thanks for that. Luando, I see you've got your hand up. Excellent. Yeah. Okay.
For me, it's a bit difficult because last year I was doing arts at AFDA.
Yeah.
So it was a one-on-one lecture thing. So now me helping myself out and trying to make sure that I give myself much time to study is it's a new chapter, if I can say that, put it that way. It's another whole new chapter and another whole new course because I've been studying arts. So it's just a fun thing of learning new things.
That's so interesting. Thank you, Luando, for sharing your experience with us. Okay, so you're going to have to put your hand down also. Okay, unless you... Thank you. So it's interesting, Luando, that you say, you were at AFDA last year and you had one-on-one contact with your lecturers or lecturer, and now it's different. You're having to be more independent as a student. You're having to do it for yourself. So it does become challenging, and it requires self-discipline, excellent time management. And Pumza, you know, Jacques was right when he said, don't worry, you will pass. I want to encourage you to not get all worked up about English. And because often that becomes an obstacle. And when we put that big mountain in front of us, and then we struggle to climb over that mountain because we think this mountain of English is so unclimbable. You know, we can't get over it or round it or through it. When actually, and then it stops us from seeing how, if we just thought about it differently, then it is possible for us to succeed in that particular module. So Pumza and Luando, maybe you just want to tell each other which college you're from, or which program you registered for, and if this is your first semester. Or no, Pumza, I'm assuming this is your second semester. Luando, is this your first semester at UNISA? And what are you registered for?
This is my second.
Yes.
First year student. Yes.
Okay, all right. And what are you registered for, Luando?
PR, diploma in PR.
Okay, diploma in PR. And may I ask why the change from AVDA to you know,
Okay.
to PR?
So I finished my degree.
Yes.
So I got that last year and then graduated this year in March.
Okay, yeah.
So my thing was I wanted to gain more knowledge in the industry. So I'm very
Okay.
passionate about art and production, but I still wanted to have something else in hand.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, smart girl. Yes. So just to find out some more, what specifically did you do at AVDA? Was it film? Was it production? What aspect of the arts were you in? Did you graduate in?
I did film, television, and motion production.
Okay, all right. This is very interesting. Film and motion production. So you were on the production side, not on the directing side or script writing.
I did editing as well and production.
Okay, all right. That's so interesting. Well, congratulations on your graduation, even though it was in March. And all the best for your diploma in PR. I'm sure you're going to do well. Pumza, do you want to tell us about what you registered for?
Okay, ma'am, I'm registered for accounting science, but
Yeah.
now I'm doing higher certificate. It's my second semester. So the first semester I passed all my modules.
Yeah, well done. How many modules
Yes.
did you register for?
I registered 10, but first semester I took 5, then I passed all my 5. Now I'm doing 5.
Wow. You know, I am amazed at students who do 5 modules in one semester. My goodness. How did you manage that, Pumza?
What I did now, for the first time, I just did all my assignment. Then when I'm
Yes.
done, I submit all my assignment. Then I take time to start all my modules.
Okay.
Practice, study. So what I did.
And accounting science, it's financial accounting and all that kind of thing and numbers.
So, yes, I'm thinking of taking a financial accounting because I love working with numbers. Than theory. Than theory.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. So now it makes sense why you were a bit freaked out about the English, eh? Because it's words and not numbers.
Yes.
But I'm sure you're going to be fine, Pumza. Don't worry. I see someone else has joined us. Maranisa, hello. Hello, Maranisa. Can you hear us? Okay. Hopefully Maranisa will. Maranisa, you need to unmute your microphone.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi, can you
Hi.
hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. So, Maranisa, welcome. My name is Lynn Isaacs, your facilitator for this academic literacy session on ENN1504. And we were just talking because there are only now 3 students and me in the session. You know, we've got time to talk about what it is you're registered for, and if it's your first semester or if it's your second semester. Do you want to tell us about yourself a little bit?
Okay. I'm 42. I registered.
Yes.
This is my first year. I'm
Okay.
doing the higher certificate.
Yes.
Right. So I'm actually planning on doing education psychology.
Yeah. And so your high
And
certificate is in what field?
it's in what is this? Okay, I can't think of it now. I'm
It's
just
fine.
like
Don't worry. It's all right. It's okay.
because
Thank you, Maranisa.
I know nothing about Microsoft Team, you know.
Mm.
So this is
Yes.
like my first time. That's why I was like struggling to get in and to see
Mm.
what's actually happening here.
Don't worry, you're not alone, Maranisa. You're not alone. Okay. We started late because we were also trying to figure it out, including me.
All right.
So, well, you know, I used it last semester when we did academic literacies workshops, but I've forgotten because I've been away from it for so long. So for me, it's like, you know, I'm having to get back onto the bicycle and figure out what it's all about. So thanks, Maranisa. We'll catch up again. And I see we have Bulelani is also here. Hello, Bulelani. Do you want to tell us about yourself, what it is you're registered for? And I see there's Namhla also. Thanks, Maranisa, for muting your microphone.
Okay, thank you. I see here's a attendance register. I just clicked on it.
Yes, you're right.
I need to fill that in.
Yes, you need to just put your student number in one of the spaces that it says. Yeah, Bulelani and Namhla, can you please do the same also? In the chat, you will find there's a link to the attendance register. Okay. So Bulelani and Namhla, you need to unmute your microphone so that we can hear you. When you say hello to us and tell us what it is you're studying. Hello, Bulelani and Namhla, can you hear us or not? Okay, Bulelani's left. Namhla's also left.
Like
Maybe they were in the
is a
wrong
bit
place.
bad. I can't get to the link of the registration form.
Mm. Okay, all right. Hello, Namhla.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, and how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. My name is Lynn Isaacs. I'm your facilitator for today. And tell us about yourself. Tell us what you're studying. Is this your first semester or were you studying last semester also?
Yes, I was studying on the last semester, so this is my second.
Yeah. And what are you registered for, Namhla? Okay, we've lost Namhla. Oh, she is still there. Hello.
Sorry.
I was asking you to tell us, what are you registered for this semester? Or what are you registered for this year? What are you studying?
Okay, ma'am, I'm doing a PR, a public relations.
Okay. Are you doing a higher certificate or are you doing a diploma?
It's a diploma.
Ah, you've got friends here. Do you know that? Luando?
No,
Luando, who is here with us, is also
Yes.
doing a diploma in PR. So
Wow.
you need to get together when we're done.
Yes,
So maybe
please.
what you need to do is share your email addresses, and then from there you can start sharing phone numbers and doing WhatsApp stuff and that kind of thing. Who knows, maybe you even live close by, and then you can, with social distancing, of course, you can
Yes.
meet and wearing your masks, and then you can talk about some of the assignments that you have. Wow, isn't that wonderful?
It's powerful.
So do you know how your email addresses work, right?
Yes,
It's
please.
your it's your it's your student number at
Okay.
mylife.unisa.ac.za. So that's why, Luando, if you can put your student number somewhere, and Namhla, if you can put your student numbers in the chat,
Okay.
then we can see, then you can see each other's details, and then that's how you can just you can see each other's email addresses. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
All right. I'm just going to share my screen with you. Well, I thought I was sharing my screen. I'm obviously sharing the wrong. Okay, so I'll tell you what. Let's just go back to the presentation, okay?
Okay.
So for now, if you don't mind, everyone just mute your microphones, and then let's get through the presentation. And then if you need to interrupt me, please feel free to say, Lynn, can you stop? Can you show us that again?
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks. So I'm hoping that by the end of this afternoon, you'll be familiar with the regional service support, the national support services. I'll show you some of the online learning platforms, and we're going to start off with Teams in a minute or so. And then I'm going to show you also some of the support information that you'll find for ENN1504. So let's start off with the Teams. And how does Teams work? And Maranisa, you were saying, that this Teams was a challenge because, it's new to you. And with all things today, with COVID-19 and the lockdown, it's forced everyone into a new way of doing things and living life. And your learning, the teaching and learning that is taking place now today has had to adapt. And so we are using Teams, and it's an application that you have access to through your access to Microsoft. So now there's two things you need to know about Microsoft. Firstly, it's an application called Office 365, to which you have free access because you are a registered student at UNISA. All students have free access to download without paying for it. You have access to Office 365. So I'm going to show you. I'm just going to share my screen with you again. And I'm just going to open up Google and take you to my UNISA and show you where to find it. Where to find the information on how to download. So we just go to My UNISA. Okay. Now, when you get to the landing page here, you'll see that this is a banner that moves. Okay. So if you're clicking on these arrows here, you'll see that it'll move and then it'll show you lots of different, give you access to different sets of information. So for example, when you're using anything that says unisa.ac.za in your browser, then it means that access, that information that you are viewing there, that's 0 rated. So this is what I'm wanting to show you. So when you go to My UNISA, go to the top little banner here, okay, and then click on that last little button there, and it'll take you to now Office 365, now available to all UNISA students. When you click on it, it'll take you to this page, okay, and read through this, maybe do it later on or when you have time, read through this and follow the steps on how to access Office 365 for free. You won't have to pay for it. So if you have a laptop or a tablet or a computer or a smartphone, you will be able to, using your My Life email address and your password, you will be able to access Office 365. Okay, so there are two options here: to download it to a tablet and to download it to a cell phone or a tablet or a cell phone or to a laptop or a desktop computer. So now you can, once you have this loaded on your device, then you can also for free download Teams. Okay, and it'll give you access to the set of Microsoft tools so that when in future, when we have a meeting, you can open up the Teams application on your device. And what I'm doing now is I'm just going to the email that you all received, and I'm going to this support, this link here that takes you to the support on Teams. And if you follow this information here, if you follow this step by step and you read through it carefully, slowly, then it will tell you how to get to, how to access the Western Cape region site using My UNISA. And I'm assuming that you know how to get to My UNISA by now, since this is your second semester. I'm assuming also that you have your My Life email address, because you would have all received an email inviting you to today's session. If you go through this this announcement that Richard Wright posted, even though it was on the 20th of August, it gives you detailed step-by-step information. How to join the live broadcast team session. What is Teams? It even gives you a link on how to click on it in order to download Teams. And again, in order to activate the application on your device, you complete the steps to install it and you sign into Teams using your My Life email address and your My UNISA password. You follow the steps, you select work or school account, and you put in your UNISA password, then you're ready to join. So now, in future, once you've got the app on your phone, then it's like it's easier to participate. As opposed to coming through using just if you're opening it up in your browser, okay, which means that you're running it, connecting to the internet, you're running it through the internet as opposed to running it through the actual application. So work through this really slowly. So all you've got to do is just go back to that email that you were all sent. Click on this link here and it will open up another tab and it will show you lots and lots of details on how to access, how to download the Microsoft Teams, how to access the sessions, how to access the recordings. So for the people who arrived late, the recordings, or this, every session is recorded, and we record it so that those who are not able to attend live sessions can go back to the Western Cape regional portal, and they can then access the recording there. There are some screenshots on how to participate in a session, how you can mute your mic, how you can put up your hand, how you can see the conversations, the chat that I referred to earlier, how to raise your hand and how you lower your hand if you want to say something, and how you can access the recordings per module. So this session will be available later today, tomorrow, on the Western Cape portal. Do you have any questions at this point?
No, ma'am. No.
Okay, that's great. Everyone, yeah.
Yes, please. No, ma'am, we don't have a question
Okay, that's
so
great.
far.
Okay, excellent. So I'm not sure how you joined the session today, but maybe if for our next session, which is going to be on Thursday morning, at 10 o'clock, maybe you want to make sure that you come in using the application and not the coming through via the internet, because that seems to give people some trouble. Okay. Luanda, you have your hand up. Go ahead. Luanda, do you have a question? Luanda, your hand is up. I'm not sure if you have a question or if you're saying all is okay. If you...
I'm sorry, my laptop was acting up.
Oh, okay. All right.
Um,
Yeah,
my
go ahead.
question is, I'm not sure if I can't see the chat room. I saw on you that people were typing, but I can't see it. So my question is it because I'm using my browser or?
Yes, it's probably
Okay,
because you're using your browser that you're not able to see the chat. Yeah, yeah.
okay. Thank you so much.
So maybe for next time, come, download the application. And if it's a smartphone, download it from Google Play, from the Play Store. If you're downloading it onto a laptop, then use the link as I showed you in the email. Maranisa, you have Luando, you okay? Does that help? Okay, Maranisa.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, cool. Thanks, Luando. Maranisa, are you all right? Do you have a question?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I tried logging in through the UNISA website, but the screen kept on freezing. So I logged in via the internet basically. Because it just gave me a plain blank screen every single time, because I tried for like because we started at 4. I started trying to get in 1:45 already, and I've been struggling all the time.
So did you come in via the link, or did you download the Teams application?
Yeah, I downloaded the app.
Okay, but did you sign in using your UNISA credentials? Did you sign into Teams? Okay,
yes.
All right. Okay. Look, we did start a little late. We were in the wrong meeting at one point, and so that's also possibly why we went to the wrong. We were in the wrong place in Teams. So that's why we went from one virtual room to another. Hello, Brandon. Welcome to the session. I'm not sure when you joined, But if you can see the meeting chat, then please, or if you can see the attendance register, the link to the attendance register in the chat, then please place your student number there. Okay, so can we move on then? Is everybody fine with accessing the Teams and using the Teams application? Look, it's going to take a while for you to become familiar with it. It's like all things new. You know, it's like when WhatsApp arrived and you know, you get a new smartphone and then it just takes some time for you to play with it a little bit, and then before you know it, you know, you can do it in your sleep. So the more we use the application, the more familiar we become, and then you'll be feel more comfortable with it. And you'll figure out where to find the buttons and all that kind of thing. All right, so let's go ahead then with our presentation. Okay, so everybody's fine with Teams then. So I want to spend a little bit of time talking about academic literacies. And maybe I can just ask you, what do you understand this term to mean, academic literacies? Just, it's not a test, it's just what you think it might be. What do you think it is? Remember, I keep referring to academic literacies workshops. So anybody, Maranisa, you want to go and tell us what you think?
Okay, academics is basically studying. So it's what I think is it's a higher sense of speech in some way.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Only speech? I mean, think about...
I think, okay, all types of communication, basically.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. Thanks for that, Maranisa. Yeah. Anybody else? Don't be nervous. It's all right. We're just wanting to know. Hi, Brandon. Go ahead. Your hand is up, Brandon. Brandon, do you have a question, or would you like to comment on the question I posed?
Oh, sorry. I think I was on mute. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Go for it.
Thanks. I think academic literacy is just to maybe get like your skill sets, or to get a broader variety of your skills to teach like a classroom or something like that, or in that space.
Okay, all right. So yeah, you know, Maranisa was talking about communication, and Brandon's talking about thank you, Brandon, talking about the skills that we use when we're in a classroom environment. So yeah, you all are, well, the two contributions so far, yes, it's got to do with what academic literacies are all about. Brandon, you can lower your hand unless there's something more you want to say. Don't worry. Don't worry, we're getting used to it.
Yeah.
Luando, go ahead, Luando.
And it's also to understand relations between different parts of text.
Yeah, yeah. It has to do a little bit with that, yes. Yes. So that can add to our understanding of the term academic literacies. Is there anybody else who'd like to comment on what they believe it to mean? Okay, all right. So let's move on. Just make sure your microphones are muted. Okay, I've muted everyone. Okay, so let's just go back to what and there's a reason I'm wanting you to understand what we mean by academic literacies. Because once you come away with a broader view of what it means, then you'll feel less inclined to think that, or I hope that you'll feel less inclined to think that, oh, this is something I need or something I don't need. So yes, you're right. Academic literacy practices or our approaches, it's a set of skills that you have to acquire, but it's also about your socialization into university life, because essentially you're having to adapt to another culture, the culture of being of the way we do things at university. So you need to be socialized into those ways of doing things at university. So for example, one of the things that we always do at university is, and you'll see on the screen here, these are not my ideas. Oops. These are not ideas that I'm presenting to you. This explanation of academic literacies or academic literacy practices comes from an article called Student Writing in Higher Education, written by Lee and Street in 1998. So that's one of the things that we always do at universities. We always acknowledge whose ideas we are sharing with one another. Because you know what, if you think about it, sometimes we believe our ideas to be our own, but actually our ideas have been influenced by by other people and what we read. But literacy is also, it's a social practice. So if you think about who you are as an individual, if you think about your gender, if you think about your role in your home, if you think about your role in your family, your nuclear family, your role in your extended family, your role or who you are as a student, what you identify with, all of those practices, we switch the way we do things, the way we speak, the way we communicate in general. And if you think about body language and gestures, that's also a literacy, because, or rather a mode of literacy, because it's something that we use, that we do to communicate. We make meaning by using gestures. We don't only speak and write. At university, there's a lot to focus on writing and on reading. And so we go between these modes of literacy, depending on where we are and who we are with. So when Namhla and Luandel get together, they are not going to be as formal as we are in this interaction here in this virtual session. They're probably going to be more relaxed. You may even speak a different language if you find that you have another language in common. You may use different words to help each other understand the content. And it's because the setting is different. If you think about who you are when you go to church or as a student in a class, you do different things. And so this socialization is just learning how to do the things that are done as a student at university. So I'm hoping that that's helped with your understanding of what we mean by academic literacies. So we had to move our academic literacies online because of the COVID-19 virus and the lockdown regulations. And so even though we're on lockdown level 2, the Learning Center isn't open yet in Paro. So we record all these sessions. You can find these sessions on my UNISA on the Western Cape Region portal. And going forward, I will upload sections of presentations, my future presentations, that you can access on your own. You know, when you're revising, having to go through it, sometimes you can't attend the session, so you can watch the recording, you can get to the notes over and above the presentations. And then, of course, there's also the evaluation forms that we'd like you to complete. So I'm going to, do you have any questions at this point?
No, ma'am, I don't have a question.
Okay, Brandon, you have a question? Go for it. Brandon's hand gone down. Okay, all right. Okay, everybody's clear. That's great. All right, so how are you all with my UNISA? Are you up to speed with it? Are you comfortable with it? Is there anybody who at this point is still a little bit confused with my UNISA? Have you all been allocated to an e-tutor group? Yes, Pumza, go ahead.
Yes, I am.
You're in
yes, I am e-tutor.
Okay.
Yes, because I saw the message from my life.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Namsha?
And me also, ma'am, I am in.
Okay. Yeah. Brandon, you?
Yes. Sorry, I had a question about the sessions.
Yes.
Because I have also different modules who also have the Microsoft Teams sessions. So I don't
Yes.
know. Sometimes it's gonna clash because I have one now that's at 5:30. So you said it's gonna be recorded, so we can always go back into the
Yes.
notes and that.
Yes. So this session is being recorded now.
Okay.
So if you need to leave, that's fine. You can always go back and watch the recording later on. But just so that you know, Brandon, our next session is going to be on our next session is on Thursday at 10 o'clock. Do you work, Brandon?
I do work, yes, but
Do you work from home or do you go into the office or do you go to your workplace?
I'm working at home at the moment, but I think
Okay.
I should be able to get time off
Okay.
for the
All right.
sessions.
Yeah. So I'm trying different times to see, just so maybe I'll just share this with you before you go,
Okay.
because maybe this will help. I just want to share this screen with everyone. I'm jumping around a bit, but this is just so that, I can just show it to you up front. So our next live class, Brandon, specifically for you, or for everyone though, is on Thursday morning at 10 o'clock from 10 till 12. And we're going to be looking at business writing versus academic writing, features of business language, and understanding the assignment instructions and the questions. Now, I know that your first assignment was due last Friday, according to the published dates in your tutorial letter. However, I also know that you have received communication from the university to say that there is talk underway with regards to extending some of the assignment due dates. But you have to look out for communication from your college that you registered in. I have reached out to Dr. Shandu, who is the lead lecturer for ENN1504, and I emailed her and asked if she knows any about the extended dates. Now, when it comes to assignment extensions, it's not the lecturers who determine what those dates are. It's actually the university. It's a different department, and that assignments department, they decide which dates the assignments can be submitted, can be extended to. And I think it's because, if you think about it, there are about 7 or 8 colleges. And if all the colleges have the same submission dates, then my UNISA is going to fall over. It just can't cope. So she said something about early September, but don't hold me to it because she hasn't received confirmation yet. So, having said that, I'm offering one-on-one consultations for assignments using Teams. So Teams, and the reason I'm encouraging you to install Teams on your smartphone or on your laptop or on your home computer is you can use Teams very much like you use WhatsApp, okay? Except Teams is linked to an email address as opposed to a phone number. And so I'm just admitting someone in here. Somebody's asked for entrance into the so let me just go back to my shared window. So it uses, and that's why I'm giving you my UNISA email address. So what you'll have to do is open up your Teams app, go to the, maybe I must just share another window with you. Let it be this. Okay, I'm sharing my desktop with you. So you open up your Teams app and you see the little phone icon there. Is everyone seeing this? Somebody?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. So all you do is you click on the calls, okay, and you want to make a call. Look, of course, you're going to use data, right? So it's like making a WhatsApp call, except you're using Teams. And instead of using a phone number, you're using somebody's email address. So there's my email, that's why I'm showing you my email address on the screen there. So that if you type my email address into your contacts, then you'll have it. But you don't have to phone me, as in we have a conversation. You can use the chat function also. So there's the chat function. So if you have a question, you can ask me a question then. Just say, hi, Lynn, and specifically about your assignments. I have this question about, question 1, or I don't understand this. Can you please explain that to me, etc., etc. So I'm making myself available tomorrow, Wednesday, from between 1 and 3 o'clock. So you can either call me or you can text me in Teams, okay? And I'm also available on Fridays. So any Wednesday between 1 and 3 or any Friday between those times, you can Teams, call, or chat and ask for one-on-one support and assistance with your assignment for ENN1504. How do you feel about that? Let's hear what you have to say. Is this something that is beneficial, that you would use?
I would use it definitely to get,
Okay.
because I submitted my assignment already. I didn't know there was an extension.
Okay, so let me just stop you there, Brandon. I don't know what this extension's going to be. All right.
Okay.
But you can resubmit your assignment.
Okay.
So, and often what happens after, like today, we are not focusing on the actual assignment. We're going to be looking at that more on Thursday. But usually after that session, then students are, I want to go back to that assignment, So there is the opportunity to resubmit. Okay, is there anyone else who wants to comment on what I've just informed you of? Thank you, Brandon. I look forward to our conversations.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Will you use the service?
Yes, I will use it. I will use it. Yes, I will.
Okay, great. Okay, all right. So basically thanks, Pumza, what I'm saying is I'm going to be at my desk. My team, I will be online on Teams. You know, like on WhatsApp, you can see when someone's online. In the same way, you'll be able to see that I'm online. And in that way, you can have access to me in real time, where I will, you know, and this is support over and above your e-tutor. Your e-tutor is there to guide you through the module content and make use of your e-tutor for those times when you can't, you know, I'm only available on a Wednesday and a Friday. And if it's something I can't help you with, maybe your e-tutor can. So I want to encourage you to, I mean, I don't want my availability and the service I'm offering under the academic literacies umbrella to for you to not participate online with your e-tutor. There were other people. I mean, there's Namtla and Maranisa and Luando. Or do you have access to your e-tutors? Are you participating online?
Currently, yes, I got some few emails today and yesterday.
Yeah. Okay. All right. It's important that you participate, because that makes you feel part of the learning community within the ENN1504 module. You know, it's important that you do that, that you don't feel alone, that you interact with the other students virtually. That's you in a classroom. That's you in a lecture hall, in a virtual lecture hall. You know, I'll just tell you something about myself. I'm also a student, over and above being a mother and a wife. I'm a mother of two sons, and they students also. So in my home, we are 3 students. You know, we all registered at different tertiary institutions. My one son is in his last year and my other son's in his first year. And I'm doing postgraduate studies. And I do this work for UNISA. So, and I'm at a contact university, and my sons were also at contact universities, and they have had to adapt to virtual teaching and learning. And in the same way, you've had to get used to online teaching and learning. And so it's really, really important that you participate and that you interact with your e-tutor. I used to be an e-tutor for another module, and it was really, sometimes it was quite, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, it would affect your enthusiasm and your willingness to post things when there was just nobody responding, nobody doing the activities, no one logging in. You know, at one point I had over 600 students, and only about 40 out of the 600 students that were part of my group, only 40 of them ever logged in. So it's difficult being an e-tutor also. So it's a two-way relationship. Maranisa, do you want to say something?
Yes, I constantly have an issue with logging on with and using the e-tutor facility. I kind of like, I still don't know how it really works.
Okay, all right, that's fine. So what I'll do is I will show you now. I'll log into my UNISA and I'll show you how it works. Okay. Brandon, is there anything else that you'd like to ask before you need to go for your next class?
No, that's fine.
Yes.
So everything. So just to confirm, when I leave everything, I'll still be able to view the notes and things like
The
that.
rest
Still
of the,
coming back.
yes, because I have the recording going as we speak, yes.
Okay.
You'll hear yourself speaking too.
Okay, no,
So
that's fine.
yes.
Thank you.
Okay. And maybe just before you go, I'll just show you what I look like so that you can see you speaking to a real person and not a bot. All right. Okay. So thanks, Brandon, for joining us. And I'm hoping to hear from you and interact with you either via Teams, the Teams call or chat, or in the next session. So thanks very much.
No problem. Thank you so much.
So I've disabled my camera again, just to save the bandwidth and to make sure that your experience online is not affected. So let's go to help Maranisa. Is there anybody else? I didn't ask. Is there anyone else who's experiencing something similar to Maranisa? You can just speak because I'm sharing my screen with you, and while I log into my Unisa. Anyone else who has an issue with working out how my Unisa works? You can just unmute your microphone and speak. It's fine. It seems like the site's very slow at the moment. And something's changing. So one of the benefits of being a student at UNISA is that when you need to access my UNISA, you need just a little bit of data in your data account to get to the site. But as soon as you see unisa.ac.za and the site loads, then it's the unisa.ac.za sites are all what we call zero rated. There seems to be a problem, unfortunately, with, it doesn't want, there seems to be a problem with the My UNISA site. And I don't know why it's not loading. Okay. Maranisa, unfortunately, I'm so sorry.
Okay, it's no problem. Because I sent like various emails to like assignment at UNISA and support and whatever, and they send me stuff, but I'm still kind of struggling. So I'm not sure because I'm using like when I open up UNISA, I use the internet is like the E. But sometimes they say you need to I need to download Chrome or something. But then I
Are you still
blocked.
there? Is everyone still there?
Yes, we're still here. Sorry.
Yes,
we're
ma'am,
still
we are
here.
still connected.
Okay, all right. What are you people doing? Hello?
Yes, I'm still here.
Oh, hi there. Yeah, okay, all right. I'm so sorry. My internet connection just went down.
Okay,
So
no problem.
I'm gonna try to get back into my UNISA now. Okay, there we go. It's a whole lot better. Yeah. Okay, so we're back up. So we're in the business. So let's just go here. So Madanisa, let's just show you. Oh, there we go. We're back up. Okay, so Madanisa, you're obviously going to plug in your username and your password to get in.
Sorry, Miss, did you show your screen? Because
Yes,
on my
my
side,
screen is. You're not seeing anything?
I'm not
No,
Okay.
we're
see
not seeing
anything.
anything.
Okay. All right. I'll just reshare. Thanks for that. Can you see that now?
No, still nothing.
No.
Okay, that's strange. And now?
No,
No, it's still blank,
still
ma'am.
nothing.
Blank, yeah.
Still blank.
Yes, please.
Okay. Can you see now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
great. Okay. Do I need to show you again how to log in?
No, I know how to
Okay,
do that.
fine. Okay, all right. So then you're going to go to my modules. But before we go there, go and read this because it explains to you how you can browse UNISA's websites for free. Pay attention to the notices here. You'll see here extension of assignment due dates you would have received as an email. First years, go and watch this video. Okay, there's a whole department called the First Year Experience or FYE, and they do a range of videos on specifically aimed at first years. And so they provide really lovely support. So take a bit of time. I think it's about a 20-minute long video that you can watch on time management specifically. So here, message for students who will write supplementary exams in October, November. So if you're one of those students who wasn't able to write any one of your model exams. So now you're going to go to my modules. And you're going to go to sites. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you. So Maranisa, are you with us? Can you see what's happening here? So your eTutor, now this is my eTutor site from last semester. I was an eTutor for this module. Now for ENN1504, 20 is for the year 2020, semester 2. And if you have an eTutor allocated, you will have a dash like here, a number, and the letter E next to it for eTutor. And what you do is you click on this drop down here and you will open up your announcements. So you'll see it's very much like your general site of your other modules that you registered for. Your announcements would be like your announcements in your module. You'll see it either as an email or not. So it's in your interest to check your announcements regularly. You will have discussions, and this is where your e-tutor is going to be most active. Okay? And what is useful is to click on the last message to see when the last message was posted. And then let's just go. So Maranisa, when you say, can you just give me some more details? When you say you don't know how it works, what specifically bothers you? Or are you not sure about? You must unmute yourself, eh, Maranisa?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, so when I go on there, like sometimes with the announcements, right?
Yes.
I read through it, but at some point, if I need to kind of like ask a question about the topic,
yes,
and then I don't know where to go or what to do about it.
Okay, so you obviously would have gone to, then you need to go into discussions. Okay, so you go to discussions. So these are forums that I work. This is obviously last semester stuff, but let's just use any one of them as a practice run. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on that forum. So let's imagine, so this was, so let's go here. Do you see new topic there at the top? So you click on create new topic. You can give it a subject that becomes like an email. You can give it a subject. You can say question one, whatever the question is. If it's on an activity, if it's on an assignment, if it's on an assignment question, if it's on an aspect of a question, make sure that that the subject line is descriptive about the question you have. Okay. And here, so I'm just going to type in here, question about exercise 2, for example. Okay. Good day. Please, could you explain what is meant by, okay, my spelling is terrible, so let me just fix it. Please explain what is meant by culture. I'm thumb sucking something, culture and interpersonal relationships. I know that's not a real question for this module. Thank you. And always end with your name. Because what happens is when your e-tutor sees your question, your first name doesn't come up. It's always your initial and your surname, and I'll show you in a minute what that looks like. So now, Maranisa, what you're going to do is you've typed it. Then what you're going to do, do you see the save button at the bottom?
Yes.
You click save, and there's your question.
Okay.
So now, so do you see here, it's my initial and my surname that comes up. Now, if I didn't say Lynn at the bottom of my topic that I posted, and I'll just show you what it looks like when students don't. You see here, I don't know who the student is. I know that's their name, that's their surname, but I don't know what their first name is. So it becomes difficult to have a conversation with someone when you've got to say, hi, Deepakula, for example, because you don't know who it is. So it's just easier for me to know that you are Maranisa, and make it more conversational. Do you get the idea?
Yes. What I did was there was another assignment that I had to submit, but then I got so confused because I was so stressed because they told me I need to download Vital Source e-books and Pearson something, 2 other apps which I can't download because it blocks me every time when it comes to the username and password. And so what I did was with the assignment, I typed it in on, because you were supposed to give 3 feedback from the other students. So I typed it in, but then the assignment, I also typed in on announcements, and it was supposed to be someplace else, which I realized afterwards. So it means I'm not going to get any marks. And the closing date was like last week.
Well,
so
it's possible that they will still allow you to. Yes. So it's possible that they might still allow you to post your. So try and see if you can now go back and do that, do it under discussions. But when have you informed someone about these apps being blocked?
Yes,
it could just be something on your computer that needs to be changed to allow you to download those apps or whatever it is.
Yeah, because that's what I thought initially as well, because then I downloaded it on my tablet, and I asked another friend to try on his laptop, and he came up with the same thing. It didn't open. And some of the links, it also didn't open for him as well. So we tried various times.
But when I say, did you email the lecturer it's important that what you need to do in those instances, and this is for everyone who's here today, when you get stuck like that, take a screenshot, okay? Yes. And send an email to the academic staff and say, this is the challenge, here's my screenshot. Can you please help me? So take a screenshot of whatever the message is, or the blocking where it says it's blocked, you can't install, you can't go further. It's important that you bring their attention, you make them aware of the problem, so that they know that these are problems that students may experience. And not for you, don't sit and try to figure it out for yourself. Does this help you now with interacting with your e-tutor and interacting on the site?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
I understand it much better.
So what if you want to, for example, if your e-tutor has posted something, okay, then all you've got to do is, and you want to reply, is hit reply, and you type your answer, and you publish, and there it is. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm just going to delete this.
Thank you, ma'am, for that thing, ne? Because I have a problem with the Mac, ne? But I was going to put under discussion and then publish it. But now I see, what must I do now? Thank you so much.
Okay, all right. So you've got a Mac. So what you're seeing is I'm working from a Mac. So you will pretty much see what I'm seeing. So if I'm going to student view again. So was that Pumza? Pumza, so what did you say? What did you do? What did you want to do?
No, I was going to ask a question on Mac and question 2. But when I'm trying to, I was going to post on a discussion and then publish it. I know I was not going to write the subject and everything like the way you did first,
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So what you can even, you see what helps an e-tutor a lot is if you post a question as a new topic in a forum. Then it just makes it clear for the e-tutor to know that that's a question. Instead of so for example, I mean, I had posted something about introductions and conclusions, and then the student asked me about in-text referencing, which really has nothing to do with introductions and conclusions, but I answered the question anyway. But it just makes it very confusing. So now, if there's another student with the same question, maybe it's difficult for other students to come into the site and see the kinds of questions that students ask about in-text referencing, for example, because that student went and posted it under academic introductions and conclusions. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you have a question that is unrelated to any of the forums that the lecturer or the topics that the lecturer has posted within a forum, is always click on new topic and then type like a subject line which describes the nature of your query or your question. Okay, I hope that that helps you. Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Okay, was there anything else that you wanted to know about my UNISA? I just want to show you all of the fantastic resources available under the ENN1504 general site. Okay, so if you look at additional resources, have you gone to additional resources in the site?
Yes.
Okay.
But
yes.
If I may ask a question, because it says, if it says like with a folder and it says action and you click copy, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes I can't find it. And I look under download, but it's not there always.
Okay, so what you do in that case is all you do is you right click on it. And that's what I've just done now. Okay. So you see I've opened up the editing and revision folder. So you put your cursor on it, you right click, and then you go save link as. And then of course your save as will open, and then you put it into the wherever you want to save it to. Your desktop, or you've got a special folder for ENN1504. I've got one here, semester 2, 1504, and I already downloaded it, so then you can save it in all of your additional resources folder. And it's nice to do it like that because then you've got it on your computer and you can listen to it at your leisure as opposed to listening to it online, although this does prompt you always to download it. Okay, save it. So I hope that helps you. So instead of going to actions, don't go to actions, okay? The same with the podcast. The podcasts are really, really useful. So you simply just open up the folder, right-click on it, and then go save link as, and then it will download it for you. All right?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else wants to? Your official study material is available here too. So I'm assuming you've all downloaded your study guide and your workbook and your tutorial letter in which you find your assignments. But what's good here is also there are past papers that's here that you might want to download for later on in the semester when we get to the exam preparation. Just to give you a sense of the way in which the exams questions are structured. So it's good to download those also and just to save it in a folder for later use. Any comments, any questions? The people are quite quiet.
I already downloaded the previous question papers and then I save on my folder. Yes.
Okay, great. That's fantastic, Pumza. You are a diligent student, and it's so important that we do these things for ourselves and that we become independent learners. Okay, so anything else on my UNISA now?
Okay, no, nothing at the moment.
Okay, you're all good to go.
Yes.
Okay,
thanks.
all right. So I'll just log out of my UNISA. I'm not sure if you were all here for the, click on this banner and then it'll take you to information explaining how the UNISA websites are 0 rated, but that when you leave this, if you click on a link inside my UNISA and it takes you, for example, to YouTube, then you will use data. The thing is about this service, the site itself is 0 rated when you get there. But in order for you to get, you must have like 50 cents or a rand if you're using a smartphone. You must have a little bit of data in order to get you to the UNISA site. Does that make sense? So you can't have nothing in your account, if you know what I'm saying. You can't have zero. You can't have no megabytes in your data account in order to get you to. Okay, so that's what we've done now. That's how far we are. And so just to explain to you, as we, head towards 6 o'clock, which is when we'll stop, just want to share with you some of the other areas of support that we offer. Now, I've explained already the third section, which is how you can use Teams to call or chat with me to ask questions or to have a one-on-one discussion with me using the Teams application. But you can also email your draft assignments to ctntut@unisa.ac.za and then CC me. And maybe you want to write my email address down or type it somewhere on a note. It is Isaac without the S. My surname is Isaacs, but UNISA's decided to give me an email address without that S. So it's Isaac and L for Lynn and Z at unisa.ac.za. So you can email your draft assignments to those two email addresses and always email it to us in Word. Okay, remember that you can download the full Office suite of applications, which includes Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, and many others like Teams for free using you have access to it for free for as long as you are a registered student. You can use your UNISA email address and your password, my UNISA password. So email your draft assignments, and what the service that we provide there is I read your assignment. I check to see that you have answered the question, not from a subject matter expert perspective. In this instance, if it's an ENN1504 assignment, yes, it will be because it's business writing. So I'm looking for all of the elements of business writing as per your study guide. Is your writing clear? And on Thursday, we're going to talk about what is meant by writing with clarity, and we're going to break that down as it's broken down really nicely in your study guide. So what is meant by, is there structure? Are your ideas organized? Do your ideas fit together, or are you all over the place with your ideas? Have you written in paragraphs? Is it clear to the reader what your purpose for writing is? So I read your draft assignments looking for those elements. And then I use one of the functions called track changes in Microsoft Word. And then I will add comments with suggestions for changes in order to improve your assignment. And then I email it back to you. So that's another part of the service that we provide over and above my availability to you on a Wednesday and on a Friday for one-on-one consultations. Do you have any questions about that? It's really important that you CC me on those emails that you send with your draft assignment, because it's just for internal tracking purposes. Okay, any comments, any questions on that?
Okay, thank you for that email. I think for assignment 1 is late now for assignment 1.
Well, I think, Pumza, you can still submit. You can resubmit assignment 1. Remember, so if you go back to, UNISA has a track record of always extending the registration date. So in order to be fair to all the students who registered late, they then have to extend the assignment submission date. Because remember, the assignment, the registration date was extended to the 18th of August. Now imagine your registration was finalized on the 18th of August and suddenly your first assignment is due on the 21st. So what they do is they then extend the assignment submission date to give those people who registered late more time to submit. And because of that, they keep the assignment submissions open. So if you go back into your MyUnisa and you check your assignments, there should be a resubmit button. So if you want me to still look at assignment 1 and resubmit it, but let's have Thursday's class first, and then we'll see. And hopefully, who knows, maybe by then you would have gotten an email to say what the extended assignment date is. Okay, so hopefully there's still time, and then I can still give you some feedback on that, Pumza. All right.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right. Any other comments?
All right. I have a question.
Go ahead.
Okay. The assignment that I submitted on, is it needed for me to email it to, because I just submitted it on the system, right?
Yes.
I didn't do the CC to CNT.
CT and TAT. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now, okay. So Maranisa, don't get confused with submitting your assignment on MyUnisa and the service that we are offering you. Okay. There's two completely different things. You're sending a draft assignment to CT and TAT at unisa.ac.za is not submitting your assignment. You're sending it for us to review it, for us to read through it, to see whether it's met the requirements and the assessment criteria according to the study guide. We then send it back to you and you still have to upload it into MyUnisa. Okay, so don't get confused between the two different services. So even after I've looked at it, that doesn't mean that you have submitted your assignment, because I'm not marking your assignment. I don't give a mark because I'm not the marker. All right. So you still have to upload it, upload the file with your declaration letter and all that kind of thing into MyUnisa. All right.
All right. Thank
I hope
you.
that answers. You're welcome. It's a common misunderstanding to have. Any other questions before we wrap up?
No questions so far.
Okay, all right. And I'll assume that from the silence from everyone else that everybody is good to go. So just as we start wrapping up, just to recap, we've had a look at the teams and the MyUnisa learning platforms. You have a better sense of the services that we offer as regional support. The sessions have had to move online, so this is why we record them. They are available on the MyUnisa Western Cape region site. Any notes and future PowerPoint presentations I will make available and upload them onto the site. I've covered this already, but just as as a reminder, our next live class is going to be on Thursday morning at 10 o'clock. For 2 hours, where we will look at business writing. How is business writing different to academic writing? What are the features of business language and the business writing? And then looking at the first assignment, where we go through the instructions and the questions. And then You're welcome to contact me tomorrow between 1 and 3 o'clock using my email address as your contact point, using Teams to chat or to call me. I will be online and available for either chat or calling to talk about your assignment. If there's something that you were confused by, but you submitted it anyway, and you thought, oh, well, I'm just going to submit it. I have to submit it. The deadline is the 21st. Let me do it. But it's still bothering you. And so if you want to talk about that tomorrow, you're welcome to make contact with me. Otherwise, on Friday, every Friday, I'll be available from 9:30 to 11:30 or 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock on a Friday. And you have my email address. Is there a comment, a question?
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. Okay, so as a wrap up, what will you do differently after today's workshop? Namsha, you want to say, what will you do differently?
Okay, ma'am, thank you.
Okay. Anybody want to tell us what you do differently going forward? Just one thing that you will do differently. Yes,
Hello, ma'am.
Wando? Hi. Or Namsha, go ahead.
Okay, ma'am, what I think I will do differently is that on my EQ tab, on the groups, on the discussion groups,
Yes.
I was not like active. I didn't know that I need to be like active on it. I will just go there and browse, and then I will just leave the group like that. But today I have learned the importance of the group, so I appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm so pleased that you're going to participate going forward. And I promise you, you will feel less alone, because you will make contact with other people. And I'm hoping that you and Luando are going to share student numbers. Luando, I think you wanted to say something?
I was gonna say the same thing as Namsha because I'll just go through everything and then just log out or just write notes and then just log out without actually responding. But I also had a question of, do we have a Telegram group as well?
I'm really not sure. I really don't know about the Telegram group. The Telegram service is not, it's not, UNISA is not the administrator for that service. I'm really not sure who sets it up. I don't know if it's students who started. I really have no clue. Maybe there's somebody else here who knows about the Telegram service, and then you could just share it here. Namshla,
Yes,
is
ma'am.
there
Yes,
Telegram?
ma'am. Yes, we do have it. We
Okay.
do have the group.
Okay, so how do people get on it?
You go on Telegram, and then there is a link that you will get to search for the group that you want.
Okay, all right. So you've got to search for the group that you want. Okay, great.
Yes.
So Luando, I hope you and Namshla will find each other and then share contact details, because I'm sure you're going to enjoy the fact that you both are doing a diploma in public relations. It's so cool to meet someone who's doing the same course as you, and to meet someone, even if it's virtually, even if you're doing WhatsApp chats and that kind of thing, but it's really great that you can interact. All right, so we've come to the end of the session. Maranisa, you want to say what you, Luanda, you still have another comment?
No, ma'am, I'm okay. Thanks.
Okay, all right. Anybody any last comments before we say good night?
Thank you, ma'am, for the section. Thank you so much. I learned a lot
You're
on my
welcome.
site.
Okay,
But
that's
before you
great.
go, ne,
Yes.
now I want to ask something about this Mac, ne,
Yes.
before you leave, ne. I have a
Okay.
question on question 2, ne, assignment 2.
Yeah.
There's this freight cost paid, ne, is 1,000 rand. I'm doing weighted average, ne, method. So my question, I have to add that cost all in that weighted average.
Okay. Pumza,
Yes, ma'am.
you are talking to someone. You know how you are with numbers, all right?
Yes. Yes.
And you know how you are with words.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the way you are with words, I'm like that working with numbers. So, unfortunately, Pumza, I'm not in a position to help you, but I know
Okay, but
that there are sessions. You can email CT in touch to ask
now
them what.
I'm going to write on a discussion in a MACNE because you already
Oh, okay.
show me. So now I will ask there. It's fine.
Okay, great. All right.
Okay,
Excellent.
thanks.
Excellent. Thanks, Pumza. All right, everyone. Maranisa, do you want to say something before we go?
No, all good. Thank you very much for the
Okay. All
information.
right.
It really helped a lot.
Okay, you are so welcome. And then thanks to all of you. It was lovely to interact with you. We were a small group, but hopefully the numbers will grow. And for those of you who are on Telegram, please will you tell the students who are there from the Western Cape about these sessions that we are running. Okay. And I hope to see you all on Thursday morning. Enjoy the rest of the evening and have a good night. Bye-bye, everyone. Stay
Thank
safe.
you. Bye.
Good night.
Bye, ma'am.